Get started now.
Thank you, Brian.
Roush will tell you.
Okay. I don't know, I kinda know my ditches, but I don't know. Okay.
Understandable, there's a bunch in there.
Yeah, there is.
All right, we're gonna open the meeting, the drainage board meeting, July 8th, 2025, approval of minutes.
Move we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Is Kenny on that?
Can you hear me, Kenny?
Aye on WebEx.
Okay. Next thing is claims. You want me to read them all? Yeah. Grant County Treasurer, $25,271.99, a loan repayment to the GDIF. John's Repair, $338 for the FAR IRA at Hudson. The fund has $3,877.04. John's Repair for $20,000 for Hollis Daughtery, and that fund has $72,832.67. Chronicle Tribune is $45 for the Goodrick Drain, and it's $31.37 in the red. And the Chronicle Tribune, $55.65, Clark Creek. In that fund, there's $25,248.01.
One question, the Goodrich, we did just defunded that, I mean,
That's the one we vacated.
yeah. So we just eat that or something?
Yep.
Okay. I thought that
Read
was,
that whole 60.
yeah.
What was the 20,000?
It was part paid on a bid.
The bid on Hollis Daughtery, $31,500
Okay.
as a partial. He has all of it brushed and most of it dug.
Okay. Motion, I'll pay the claims as presented.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
On WebEx.
All opposed? Motion carries.
You don't need this.
I don't get it.
Goes back here.
Next old business is Little Crane Pond. Approval of resolution tabled. But the way I understand it by Kyle Persinger, we should leave this alone.
What?
By Kyle Persinger, he said we should leave this alone.
We're opening a can.
And keep it?
Yep, he said you're opening a can of worms you don't want to open.
Can you explain any more than that?
Mary, what do you,
He was saying by vacating even like the tile,
Yeah.
it will draw attention to the ditch that is like in state designated wetlands. And then they'll start looking into things a little
because it was
closer.
wetland, because it's considered wetland. And he said we'd be better off to just leave it
He
alone.
said, yeah, you're opening a can of worms on that.
Well, I guess I have to say, okay, because we don't want the wetland.
No, but I
Right,
think
that's
we already got a couple problems with
And
that.
see,
Yeah,
that's
Pat's
what he
gonna be
said.
gone the next two meetings, today and the next meeting, so.
So there are issues with the tile.
We don't maintain it anyhow, do we?
We've not spent money on that in years.
We worked on the tile south of the school on the south side of Kim Road a few years ago.
But normally doesn't the utilities just take care of it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. The only time I seen it worked on was south of or east of the school, south of Kim Road.
I ain't gotta remember that.
Wasn't a bunch, but it was a ways down there. Just, there is issues in there. And I don't know if there's much in the fund to,
I know he said it was wetland, because he said that's gonna be the same problem we'll run into over there by
Lomax.
Myers, Lomax.
okay. Wendell got information on that.
So, do we, wanna get rid of it then and be done with it?
Well,
Would make a difference to me.
That's why we pay the attorney for his
Yeah.
opinion.
Does Kenny have a thought on it?
Kenny, you got a thought on that?
Do what?
You got, Kyle Persinger told us that Little Crane Pond, that is called a wetland too, and he said we'd be better off to leave it alone and not let the state get in on you.
No, we don't need.
Well, they're still working. That's a mess down through there, okay? If you go out there and look at it, that's a mess.
But
And,
I know the lawyer said that we should leave it alone. He said that we should just leave it like it is because he said if you don't, it's the wetland and that the state would come in on you.
I
IDEM.
Well, I agree, we don't need them fighting them, they win every time.
Fine with me.
a couple of women complained out there. That's what the problem was.
That's all it takes.
That needs, that was designed wrong, okay?
Kenny's talking Lomax.
Yeah, he's thinking
Yeah.
on this. He's talking about the Lomax.
Yeah, we're not talking about the Lomax, we're talking about the Little Crane Pond.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know about that.
Yeah, Kyle said we should leave it alone because it's wetland and IDEM would come in on you.
Well, that's the one we pushed it because the trees
Yes.
went there and we spent a bunch of money and that I was the one to keep it on there, but maybe we have everybody and vote it out and
We
just,
don't spend much money on
yeah, especially the town, the mayor's gonna take care of the houses. And, well, we'll,
You want to table it until Pat comes
yeah,
back?
let's take it
Yeah.
till we all get here and then maybe.
it. So we'll put it on the agenda for
Just
discussion.
leave it on the table.
And Wendell's son
Alright.
got in contact with a Army Corps of Engineers person. And that person is supposed to be sending Wendell and his son a paper that says the county surveyor and drainage board supersedes IDEM. He
Well.
hasn't produced it yet,
Oh, yeah?
in response to the Lomax issue. So I can elaborate more on that, or we can go on down the list.
Well, it'd be,
Why not go ahead?
He hasn't supplied anything, so I'm not too confident until we get it in hand.
Yeah.
But he was saying that on the Lomax, he's pretty certain that we can maintain all of it except for the east channel. And that is what they are determining, or calling a wetland, is that east channel. The ditch itself, not the banks, just the channel, is what he was told. I have no proof of that in writing yet.
Right.
And do we have any real water that goes through that east channel?
Not through that channel, no. But it does make it difficult for Wendell to build that land mass between the channel and that pond up without having that dirt access to use. So, still in contemplation on Lomax.
if we can get it, if
So can
we supersede Army Corps of that, then we have something to stand on.
Right.
Right, if we
Which we could backpedal to Little Crane Pond then if.
If that is right, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
I don't want it in writing before I get.
yeah.
But like that east channel, are we allowed to make that like a right of way so Wendell can use it?
The way I understood it, yeah, the land mass between the channel and the pond, yes.
And that way
Just
they
can't
can,
go in the channel.
Correct. Just can't do anything in the channel. And then-
Spray, mow, nothing.
Right.
Not even once a year?
I don't think so. But then my thought, the gunk in that channel, the goop, is gonna try to leach over into the Lomax regulated ditch. We may need to put a riprap dam there or something.
Oh, yeah.
To filter it.
To keep the
Yep.
goo in the channel and separate from the ditch.
so we're kind of waiting.
Hopefully.
IDEM hopefully gets a letter saying that we supersede it, right?
Yes.
We may have to fight it then, but at least we'll have something to back us up.
And at one time, Kenny had supplied me with a paper that had a House Bill 229 on it that said we do not need permits to work on regulated drains. I've had it since Nathan started working. I showed it to Nathan, but I cannot find that thing now. I have searched through my office. I don't know if Kenny might be able to come up with another copy of it or not.
Can you hear him, Kenny?
Do what?
Raymond wants to know if you have another copy of that
229 House bill.
229 House bill that you gave him.
You gave me and Jim a copy of a House Bill 229 a few years ago that stated that we didn't need permits to work on regulated drains. And I have misplaced it. I didn't know if you might have another copy.
Well, you're talking about the one that we cut the trees off of and so forth, right, Gordon?
No, I think we're
Fast.
past
We're
that.
past that.
We're past that one.
I think he's having trouble here.
Yeah.
Raymond said that you and Jim Todd gave him a House Ordinance 229,
Oh, man.
and he wanted to know if he had another copy of it, because he's misplaced his, that says that you don't have to get permitted when you're working on regulated drains.
Right.
We ought to be.
Whatever.
about it.
I'll go along with whatever you guys want.
Wait till he'll be back tomorrow. You can reach out to him, make a note to reach out to Kenny and ask him about Raymond, what he needs, because he said he'll be back tomorrow.
House Bill 229.
That's an Indiana House bill.
Yes. I just don't know what year. I started looking for it and it seems like there's every
A
year.
lot of them.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna table Little Crane Pond till Pat gets back.
Yeah.
New business. Sims Franklin trees on Slaughter property. There's $31,103.14 in the fund.
Tim Slaughter came to us and was questioning the trees on Sims Franklin ditch. Was it Baroka? That you knew the location from the gentleman before. 500, address is 1779
Burker.
Audi Brokers
Burker. Yeah.
property where they left trees when they dredged Sims Franklin before. There's roughly 20 trees, and we were to get estimates from different contractors. We ended up getting a estimate from R&S Tree Service, was the only one we received.
How much was the bid?
His
How much
estimate
was it, Raymond?
is $24,000 to cut them down and haul them away. $12,000 if they just cut them down and cut them up and leave them on location.
Gordon, that's the one we went out there and looked at.
We love to a lot of them. I think I know where it's at.
Right
Well,
next
you
to,
know, I went out there on Quaker Road and looked at it.
Yeah, okay.
And there's one big tall tree, but I don't think it can reach the house. At the most, I'd go for taking the one big tall tree out.
Okay, I know where we're talking about.
Are they causing a problem?
not yet.
They're
Yeah,
dying?
He's concerned about the big one, the big cottonwood. It's 100 foot tall probably.
But is it our responsibility or not?
It's you guys' call.
If it's not blocking the flow of water,
When
I,
when they come through there,
How many trees you said they
10,
had?
12 years ago, they wanted to clean all that out, and evidently Burkers or somebody wouldn't let them, okay? Okay?
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
they didn't clean those between the two houses.
okay, I know where it's at now.
Now they want them cleaned out.
but somebody knew us about the house that had them left and inherited the trees.
The one super tall one, I don't necessarily have a problem with taking it out, because somebody's gonna have to come in with a bucket truck and so forth, take it out, okay? But for us taking them all out for 25,000, I don't know if it's our, they should have let us take them out when we come through there, okay?
Yeah. But I don't know if the tree Mother Nature blows the trees into the guy's house, that's not our
His
responsibility.
insurance will take care of it.
Should.
just cause he wants it down, I don't think that,
I agree.
He was coming for your opinions.
Oh.
He doesn't have the expectations of you guys just going in and cutting it down
Okay.
and going on. He was wanting your input as far as what you would help him do.
Are they on the top of the bank or the side of the bank?
Most of them top of the bank.
It's not our problem. Because it's not blocking our water.
No, it's not blocking the water.
okay, well, I remember now, I went to look, yeah. Just cause he doesn't want, yes,
Gordon was out there and looked at it.
yeah, I know, yeah,
Pulled in the drive. There's
Yeah.
one big one, one super tall one that'll have to come out with a bucket truck, okay?
yeah. But I don't,
So if you take that one out, is he gonna be mad at you for not taking the rest of them out?
I don't think he would. I would think he would be grateful for getting the big one taken down. Because you're probably looking at a couple grand on that one tree.
What do you think? Not even take it out?
It's not our problem. Maintenance. I got trees that need trimmed. You gonna come out and trim them? They're gonna fall on my house.
Well, that's true.
yeah, that's,
I got a regulated ditch on me too. I could use some trim.
They aren't on a regulated drain, but that doesn't matter. Now, my vote's no.
Do we have to
They're
take-
not ours.
So we have to take a motion to vote?
If you're gonna make a decision on it.
Okay, I got a motion.
I move that we do not remove these trees on the Slaughter property, that at this time they are not our problem because they don't impede the flow of water.
There you go.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a 1 and a second. Do I hear all in favor, signify by saying aye? Aye.
On whether,
Okay, killed that one. Okay, the next one is the Jesse Tippy.
Oh, boy.
Is this one the one for Glenn?
Yes.
Hey, I was talking to Kyle about this one too. Raymond, can't we call that a tribute drain?
Tributary of it and add it to it.
That's what he said. He said it'd be easier and he wouldn't have to mess with it.
We just call it Jesse Tippy and tributaries.
He said that would be the easiest way.
And write up a description of the tributary.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. My question is, do you want to include the green line?
Now I got a question here. Does Ed really know what he's opening up here?
No, Ed is concerned about getting the purple line a regulated ditch so that those homes have a legal outlet. That was his intent for getting the Ogilvy.
Okay, so he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, he's gonna be paying the majority of
Yes,
this
he even knows,
tax,
he even told me that.
and he's gonna fix their drain.
Yeah. he
I
even
asked
told me
him
that.
why he was in such a generous mood for it, and
Yeah, that don't sound like Eddie Glenn.
No, that's what he told me.
he said it was he felt like it was the right thing to do.
Okay,
Yeah, he came to my office.
so he's got something planned.
Yeah, he came to my office and said, well, I'm gonna pay for it. I'm paying 90%.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
He's got something planned.
Right.
Well, that's like I did one house, Nice Man High School, just a farm. We got 5 houses. I knew any problem would be me. I'd run an outlet, all those houses, in my cost, just
Just did it.
Right.
so you didn't have a problem. So maybe that's a good deal. and
Okay.
maybe We'll have to see if there's alternative motives, right?
Right.
At the time.
So this green line you're talking about?
On the picture, the blue line is a Jesse Tippy.
Yep.
The purple line goes behind the houses is an 8-inch.
Yep.
The green line goes back to Ed's field where the orange starts again. I think it would be advantageous to add that on so that Ed has a legal outlet through those 2 neighbors there without having to fight with them to get an outlet.
Yep.
And then there's one more line, a yellow one that runs behind those houses to the right.
Yep.
Currently, that tile isn't any good. I would like to put them on a parcel charge until we can run a new 8-inch behind them houses so that they will be on it with a good outlet, and then bump them up to the home site charge.
They hook into the Jesse Tippy?
They will. Right now, their tile is about shot, basically. They're on the assessment roll because that's the way their water goes, but as far as a good tile, they don't have one at the moment. And
And really, it'd probably be cheaper, cause ain't that the where Bragg was gonna have to dig a bunch of that up out that way on this end?
it's not very, yeah, that's
So we'd be better off just to run that new, like you said, run a new line.
right on the fence line, and
Yeah,
the property to the east of there also is wet ground and could be benefited from a stub going that way and a 6 going off of it, or a 4 to drain some more wet
How
ground.
much have we estimate would cost to put this tile?
Big echo of hours.
That one could be shallow, so it wouldn't be all that expensive.
no,
The other one's so expensive because it's 8 foot in places.
yeah,
The purple one.
Yes.
yes.
We're doing it, put them all in.
Okay.
And then like
Do it
I said,
once
make
and be
it
done
right.
with it.
Right, make it a tributary and add it on as a tributary.
So do I have a motion?
And then you want the houses east of it at a reduced rate.
Yeah,
For now.
Until you
Until
replace
it's
the
been
tile.
repaired.
Right.
yes. And the Jesse Tippy itself could use some expense put into the field tile. I mean, it could use, I think we could use a minimal amount of money to keep the purple line open and still have money to improve the Jesse Tippy and possibly run the yellow new tile while the fund builds to relay part of the
And then
purple.
is Ed gonna come in and wanna raise the rate, or?
I haven't touched base with him real good on the rates. I think the houses should be $200 a piece, because when that gets repaired, I was
Yeah, do
told
we have a rate for houses now on that, on Jesse Tippy?
there is,
John, the old will be draining up. There's a number on there that Glenn wanted.
I know it's on the tile for some reason. It's surely in here somewhere.
Oh, these old houses,
60s,
Yeah,
Good Lord.
that's the problem we're running into now.
That's
tile
what
would get
he's
wore
at.
out, so it went to.
Right.
And
it's what it is now,
Yeah, that's what he'd like.
Probably planted a bunch of trees and shrubs over the tile, right?
cause they are not.
It's by a fence row, so you get the trees from the fence row. I don't have a rate at the moment, Richard.
Well, Ed said he would like $150 a homestead.
Okay.
But, you know, if you gotta do that other one too, 200 might not be out of place to help you out on that other, right?
I think the 200, because they're all relying on that and it needs to be replaced.
Do we have to have a public meeting to?
Yes. You have to have a public hearing to increase the rate, whether it's to 150 or whatever. but it
Even
should
if
be.
there's no rate on it?
Correct. There is at the moment, I just don't have it in
Is
front
there
of
a
me.
rate? Can you
pull up
Jesse Tippy,
Yeah.
For a home site?
let me look real quick here.
I thought we could increase it by 10%.
10%.
Yeah.
So if it's zero, we go to $10.
Without a notification, yeah. But we're going,
Yeah.
we want more than 10%.
Yeah.
Oh, it's $1.85. Sorry, that's what it is. My memory just kicked in. It's $1.85 per acre, $1.85 per home site. That's the rate. And it hasn't collected forever because it's shut off.
Getting bow pop.
No.
No, it's got,
Well, you might be able to McDonald's, you can get
The
Well,
Jesse
yeah.
Tippy has $2,100 in there.
2,100. And we spent 600, I think, jetting before. But $1.85 doesn't pull in anything.
No.
So we
Can we set the public meeting without owner approval, owner consent?
Yeah.
Without
Should be able
owner
to, because
consent.
Blaine's got 90% of it, right?
Glenn will sign a petition.
You just have to have 10% of the benefited acreage in
Yeah,
Glencoe.
Blaine's got, he said he had 90%.
But you
Yeah,
still
there's-
can do it without a petition.
261 acres and 13 home sites.
I kinda agree with Raymond about 200 a house, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we aren't talking about that yet, because We gotta have a public meeting for that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we can. I mean, you guys could set the rate and have Mary
Okay,
pick a date for a public hearing.
yeah.
The assessment roll is ready to go, so that's no problem there.
How many houses you say will be on this again?
13 total. There's 9 on the purple and 3 on the yellow, or 4 on, sorry, 9 on the purple and 4 on the yellow.
Okay. It's not gonna get any better.
Well, no, and also, you know, we gotta remember too, when we're doing this, if we do gotta set it, you gotta remember, everything's gonna go up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's went up a bunch since 2020.
Yeah.
Things are starting to come back down a little bit, but
This is talking about this portion, have a hearing on it, or these?
Both of them.
So what's this one going to
this is
Jesse?
gonna be Jesse Tippy and tributaries.
Okay, and you're saying it's ready to go?
The assessment roll is yes.
Okay, all I need is a surveyor report.
Okay.
I can.
So we-
And a motion.
Yeah.
And the motion, but if you want me to.
You need a
find
a
date,
motion for the rate to do it.
Do you want me to find a date and you guys can make a motion on it?
We wanna get it high enough
Yes.
and
Yeah.
low it, cause they're gonna
So,
complain.
okay, let's do this in two motions. I move that we combine all these ditches as noted on this map that the surveyor supplied, be joined together and be called Jesse Tippy and tributaries from now on.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye, on with that.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next motion?
Okay, I move that we set a public hearing on the date that the secretary comes up with.
About September 9th, I could do, because I have to have the date thing, September 9th.
Works for me.
That's the first meeting in September.
Yep. Work for you,
That we
Randy?
set a public meeting September 9th at regular drainage board meeting to increase the rates on the Jesse Tippy and tributaries to $200 a home site.
What acre charge?
How many an acre?
There's 260 acres. Did Glenn have a suggestion on a
No,
Ogilvy?
he didn't care about that.
He
just wanted
didn't care about the
to-
acres, he just cared about the home.
Yeah, that's all he was worried about.
To be nice to him, $10 an acre.
And $10 an acre, minimum of $10
For a,
for 8 years.
And we need a parcel rate,
Half
half of
the home site.
100.
100.
And we,
Those ones on the map,
the 4.
these properties back here are basically parcels. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. If you feel that, I don't know if you could put houses back here and have more homes or not. With that, and
How they gonna get to them?
well, there's a access through Glen here and
Looks like the access right here.
Uh-huh.
so just,
Worry about that when the time comes.
okay.
And,
Parcel at 100 then?
yeah, and the houses east of, on the Jesse Tippy tributaries, be charged a parcel rate until their tile is replaced.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second.
You got all that?
You gotta, yeah.
you got
You got that, Mary?
200 for home site, $10 minimum, 8-year collection, $100 for parcels,
$10 an acre and
$10 an acre.
$10 an acre, okay.
And then the one on the east side gets charged $100.
I have it now.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Who motioned? Then, okay. Y'all are confusing.
All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now we're going to the Monroe Ditch.
give that one. And another one is, and another one to Mary. In August August 29, 2023, we had Dale Spencer, John Curlin, Kyle Sheff, Larry Shipley, Julie White, and a couple others came to a meeting and requested maintenance on Monroe Ditch from State Road 18 south to the end of Monroe Ditch and to the end of Taylor Branch of Monroe. We've done part of it. These are the parts, I did that in the picture. These are the two home sites right by the road, 100 north south. And these are two estimates I got with Rickner before my amount was lowered. I got with Rickner and the homeowners, met out there and talked with them. Julie White's is on the left-hand side, and Haynes's is on the right-hand side. Haynes's could be done on his side by the road, and by Julie's side further away from the road. Due to the ravine in Julie's yard and big trees on her side up towards the road, that's why we went on Haynes's side there. And then further from the road on Haynes's side, he has buildings and other objects in the ditch right away, and it would be easier to go onto Julie's side at that point and do it from her side. Her dirt can get put out into the field and moved, spread around. Haynes's, some of it is probably going to have to be hauled off a little. They can take it across the road or into Curlin's, but one price is on one side and one price is on the other side of that paper I gave you. Everyone out there was happy with Rickner's work, and the other sections, I do believe the landowners are going to get quotes from Rickner to bring to the drainage board to request him do them for the price that he gives on them.
So all we're doing is the two home sites.
Correct, at this time.
What's it mean by work performed by on the property of Laverne Haynes? I went to school with him.
Oh, did you? We met him out there. He was a pretty nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
The ditch is very brushy. It has never been dug through there that I remember. And I've dug south of the road twice myself, and my father dug it before me. That section has never been dredged. There's 2-foot mulberries and just, it's kind of nasty through there. So, this has been above my limit. I brought it to you for hopefully your approval, and I can let him turn him loose on it.
And that's part of the tributaries of,
Luger Creek.
and there's money in there to do it.
Yes, yes. There are a lot of projects that happen in Luger Creek.
So he wants both of these,
Yes,
one's for one side, one's for the other.
correct.
Okay. How much is in this fund?
Luger Creek and Tribs.
Oh, it's Luger Creek and Tribs? Okay, don't look at that. No, there's money in that fund.
It's down to like 70-some thousand. You might look, Mary, it's not as much as it was. A lot of that work's been going on over there. All that behind the dump is on it, and Jerry Soltz's is gonna be on that same fund.
95,000.
95,000. So it's probably start another 25 coming in this fall would be my guess. But it'll cover it for sure. I mean, I'm hoping to do the northern part in the green and the southern part in the green. The blue part has been brushed and dug. The yellow part has been brushed but not dug yet.
And the green part has that nut done.
Correct. There's not much brush on the northern part. The southern part's like a porcupine. No big trees, just thick little trees.
So do I have a motion?
I've got a question. Leave trees designated by property owners.
Those are the ones on the opposite side that they're gonna want left. Some of them are getting cut, but they're big trees that if we do take them down, they're gonna cost more to take them down.
So we're gonna leave them now and in 5 years, we're gonna take them down.
They'll, hopefully not, hopefully we still clean them from the opposite side of the ditch. You can
No, I mean, when they fall in the ditch.
Hopefully they fall out of the ditch. From Gordon's interpretation, if they fall away from the ditch, they're the property owners.
Correct.
And only ours if they fall in
Correct.
the
Well, I
ditch.
need you to.
They're only ours
You
if
take a rope, tie around it, and kind of stake it down.
Or 5-inch cable or 5/8
Yeah.
cable and, yeah.
It's a problem, you know, that
Yeah, I agree.
Cost now or cost later, and I haven't told them that anything as far as what the trees that get left, whether they're theirs or ours, that we never had that conversation. My
Well, I can tell you, when they're alive, they're theirs. When they're dead, they're ours.
oh, they're right. Yeah.
This was the cheapest way I thought we could get through there at the moment without making them both mad and cutting all
Yeah.
the trees.
I move that we allow John's Repair to do this work as quoted on the Monroe ditch.
I got a second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Bye-bye.
Motion carries.
Their money, their trees, their ditch, so.
Next one is the new Honey Creek.
How many bids did you get, Mary? Just the two?
You each have a copy.
Oh, we got a copy.
You need pictures of where the place is?
Gordon does. Gosh, John's gonna be busy.
You need to see this.
Where is
The
it?
picture. I think it's out there in Van Buren.
Yeah, it's north of Van Buren.
Okay.
It's where George Dedamore's ditch outlets.
Oh, Honey Creek.
Got one quote for $83.77. We got another quote for $7,239.30.
So what are we working on here?
Yeah, that's Honey Creek tile, and do that right here. This is a short open ditch to Little Black Creek.
Okay.
This is Little Black, that ends up over in Big Black.
Okay. And there's the money to do this?
$17,444. It's on a whopping $2 an acre and $25 a home site. 850 acres brings, it gets turned off at 15,000. It's not pulling in very much, but it has enough to do it at the moment.
Did you marry this from this Penrod guy? Did you get his insurance? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't list the drainage board, but I can get that.
Yeah, but you can.
Before they
Yeah.
begin work, I can contact them,
Yeah.
tell them I need them to.
What is this company? You heard of them before?
Highly recommended. Blake Powell suggested him, said he was a good person, and I know his grandpa, but I don't know him.
Who recommended him?
Blake Powell out of Montpelier. It's one that I did send a letter to. He didn't choose to bid on it, but he brought him
Oh,
to give his bid on it.
okay.
It's kind of like Extreme, in my opinion. Give him a chance and see how it does, and
Yeah.
no more till we see what he does.
Yeah.
I've been in contact with the Extreme Excavation out of Tipton. numerous times on the weather conditions and him trying to get up here and do Thompson Branch of Monroe. The weather's not cooperated. You know,
So we need a motion to accept one of the other bids, right?
yeah.
Yep,
Work on the Honey Creek, right?
yep.
I make that motion and I guess we'll
Try the new guy.
try to
Yep,
do
go
that.
Pinrod,
Yeah.
try them out.
Y'all got a second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Because I guarantee you, if you don't do a good job, we'll hear from them.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Okay, the next one is the Hollister Daughtery discussion.
The Hollis Daughtery is a ditch over by Upland, east of Upland, drains Dollar Lake. We were approached by Randy Atkins and a few others to raise the maintenance on it. Oh, Randy Atkins and Townsend's to raise the maintenance on it and add on a section of ditch south of 26. We gave a quote, or took a quote from, for dredging part of the Hollis Daughtery from 1150 East to State Road 26. And the red marks are washout and tile outlets and combinations of. There's plenty of money in the fund to do this. I've pre-approved Rickner to do $4,000 worth of riprap and washout work. There's a big one right against 26 on the east side that's 60 or 70 foot long rut, 2.5 feet deep. It's gonna take numerous riprap, loads of riprap. A load of riprap now is pushing $450 to $500. I have talked with the landowner of what is on the ditch about the tile, and he is willing to pay for the pipe for the tile outlets, even though the tile come from other properties. But he wants to put the pipe on to longevity of the ditch. So what I'm asking is if you would possibly bump me up another $2,000, and that would hopefully take care of the riprap in this section of the Hollis Daughtery.
And all we're fixing is one hole.
No, we're fixing all these.
Oh, okay.
We're fixing all these red marks for
For
$6,000
roughly
basically.
6,000.
Yes. It may be less, it may be a little more until you start putting riprap in the holes and chasing things. But he's got it looking good out there.
Water gets across the road there on 26, right?
Yes.
At times.
And then I have, after this, then I have a little more discussion on the Hollis Daughtery as far as the next step. As far as,
Moving south of 26.
correct, to relieve that water, so hopefully it doesn't. I had two people tell me that there's been water across 26, and then I talked to the lady that lives there, and she says she's never seen it across 26. So, whether she was sleeping when it went across, or I don't know.
She was
but-
gone.
Seems like their water across the state highway would be itching to do something with it.
It shocked me that she hadn't seen it. Because that's one of them was from the
Pretty
highway.
major road right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember in the wintertime, there was enough water that caused ice in that section. So, but
Okay.
I don't know how much rain it had in the preceding that, you know. So
So we just need to make a motion for this for 6,000?
Yes, if you are comfortable with it. Either that or that big one by the road is probably gonna hold off until possibly a later date. I'm pretty sure you
And
can,
it'll be 7,000.
it won't be less.
Well, let me ask you guys something. With all this riffraff you guys use, why don't you guys buy it by the bulk and store it?
Where are we gonna store it?
Highway department.
It's rehauling that.
I've had stories before about that, whereas if you do make a collection, then you get into arguments of who took what out of what, and who paid for what.
Yeah, but if it's your pile, you know what I mean?
But it's one ditch's money and the other ditch's money.
Oh, I
You're
see
not
what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I was just trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would be cheaper.
would be cheaper.
I see what you're saying, 'cause they were, yep.
And keep
State
track
Board of
of-
Accounts probably wouldn't like
Yeah.
it.
So do we make, you already okayed 4,000 on this? Do we just need to okay 2,000 or okay the 6?
Or okay to fix these. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be more than,
I say we fix them.
So do I have a motion to,
I move that we allow, who's doing it?
Rickner.
Rickner to fix these marked problems on the Hollis Doherty up to $6,500.
Okay.
Second.
okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
That way, if it comes into a major
Kenny's got
problem,
those.
you don't spend.
Kenny, did you hear me?
Yeah,
Aye.
What'd you say, Mary?
I didn't hear him vote.
Okay. A little more discussion on Hollis Daugherty. That section right there was 3,800 or 3,688 feet, and it cost $31,508 to brush and dredge. South of 26, there's a stretch that's 4,300 feet long that needs brushed and dredged. I don't know if I were to let that out for quotes, if there's enough money in the account to cover it. I know the next year's draw will cover it. Are you willing to spend next year's money, or would you rather I did a shorter stretch to make sure that we have the money at that time to do it?
If you let it out for bids now, it's probably not gonna get done till next year anyhow, is it?
Possibly fall, depending on how everybody's year goes, whether.
And how dry it
You
stays.
know, I mean, and it could be one that Rickner could put in front of, or whoever were to get it, could put it in front of what they were doing with the state road flooding. We just dredged to the
Well, if he's
north,
already gonna be there doing this other stuff,
you know. That,
but no guarantee he's gonna get the bid.
correct. I mean, with the Penrod from Montpelier and the Extreme from Tipton, I'd like to hold off on bidding too many more until I see how Extreme is going to do their quality of work. They got a job for 20,000, the others were 30,000. So he was a third below them.
So can we wait a while?
We can, would you rather I put ones out that we have the money to cover, or put ones out that will take next year's draw? I know Gordon doesn't like spending out of the general drain.
I don't either.
I don't either.
So
because-
do it with what we got? I don't need a motion or nothing, it's just you
Yeah.
guys telling me. So keep
Do
it
it two
with the
stages,
money.
do it half and half.
Hmm?
Do it in 2 stages, half and half.
Well, part of it goes down to 1150, and then another part's past 1150. I just do from road to road.
Yep, do it that way.
Okay. That's all I got.
Now, I've talked to Kyle Versinger, because I'm new at this, but he says the drainage board is supposed to send out the quotes,
Okay.
not the surveyor, the drainage board.
Okay.
So we have to start doing it the way he says to cover ourselves.
Okay.
And we need this paper, I emailed you, I need this filled out daily so we can keep an eye
I
on it.
don't have things daily
Well, you only had this many in this long a time?
as far as pre-approval things.
Okay,
There should be like 5 new ones on there since last meeting.
there's 3.
3.
Crane Pond, Limbo Ditch, and Taylor Creek.
You have a print of that, Sunday? What's on yours? I don't bring one.
Little Crane Pond, Valley and Owl, Crane Pond Phase 1, Lumbo, Taylor Creek, Hollis Daughtering.
That's all I got on there.
I just printed it out this morning.
They just printed it. You printed that last
I
night,
printed
right?
that about 4:30 yesterday before I left.
I'm just trying to keep informed, you know what I mean?
There's one from June 30th and then one from last
What
night.
was this?
It's the one I had, but it still was
Are
on
they
the
looking at
list.
the right one?
Yes, 1, 2,
It's the same.
3, 6, yeah, I'll get that.
It's the same. Except
Oh, yeah,
for
I'll
Hollis,
get that last one.
except for Hollis Daughtery and the riprap, the one we just talked about.
Hey, what about the Swayze deal? Did you talk to them about, Ron Cates' stuff?
Swayze or Sweetser?
Was it Sweetser?
Burge?
Birds, yes.
I talked with, what's his name? Patrick Kendall. He didn't have time for me this week. We're hopefully going to get together next week. We've researched the part of Burge is mostly south of 18 and east of Main Street. We have Sweetser Drain that is west of Main Street. And then Sweetser themselves have put in 2 drains south of the railroad that part of it used to come north to Burge. We've got to get a dividing line between what's going south and what's coming to north to Burge. It's pretty close to being completed.
Have you talked to Ron Cates?
No, I asked you who was the petitioner and a contact
And I
number.
gave you him and his phone number because it's on the inside of my folder.
Okay.
Because he was gonna talk to them, the town,
And who was it?
Ron Cates.
Ron Cates?
Hey, his phone number, Raymond, is 661-8500.
8,500. All right.
That's all I have. I just wanted to tell, Kyle said we had to start, the
Okay.
drainage board had to start sending the quotes out.
Do you want me to go ahead and word them, or you guys going to word them?
Now you wanna work it, Mary?
The way that Kyle said when we met with him was that, like, the drainage board vote, yes, let's go ahead and get quotes on this job. Then the surveyor would get me the information on the ditch, like how many feet, what needs done, all that, the technical stuff that I don't know, obviously. And then they would be rocks for drainage board, the quotes would be,
Right.
and then you guys would vote on it like we always do. It'd be just like it was last year and before.
So you have to send her everything.
So you
She'll
do it,
send the
then you
quotes out.
send it all to her and she mails it in.
Yep. No, he does all the technical she needs, so she can send it
I
out.
don't know when somebody says they need so many feet brushing.
Right.
You know, he would get me like
The
section.
description of it.
All this, stuff like Jim used to do all these years. This is what we need done here, and I would type it up, send it out to contractors, just like we used to do.
For the last few years, I've been writing the letters to the contractors.
Right, before that though, for like 10 years before that,
But
Jim
Kyle
did
said the
it.
drainage board.
And
is
Kyle
supposed to
said
send
that
out
was the way it was supposed to be.
Okay.
Bureaucrats.
Yeah.
Gotta jump through the hoops.
Got jumped in.
I know.
So somebody can't complain, fight it.
They still can claim.
Yeah, they can, but
Yeah, they'll complain, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's it. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move we adjourn.
Second.
second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
You know, money coming in. I think what we're seeing sometimes, well, we don't have enough money to do this project. Can we get in here next year? And then you gotta keep somebody straight.